Alright, YouTube, we back with another one, man. If you're watching this video, you're reading the title, then you already know. I don't really gotta say too much, man. Just start our weighing on this, I see a lot of people talking about it. I mean, I always like to give my 2 cents on certain topics. Certain topics I stay away from. Just depends, if it's too much controversy, like, for me, I just maybe chime in the comments or something like that, but most of the time I'll weigh in with my own video just because every opinion should be heard, because everyone's opinion is going to be different on topics all the time, and that's a good thing, Some people see it as a bad thing, but it is what it is, man. So we're going to get right into it, and, that's it. That's the whole point of this video is basically what I'm saying, and that is, are Glocks really need to be updated, basically, for better words. I don't know what's going on with me. I'm slurring my words all crazy, man. But yeah, is it necessary to really upgrade your Glock out of the box? Like, do you really have to change everything that people tell you have to change, or that YouTube tells you have to change? And me personally, I'm gonna just give y'all my answer, man. My answer is gonna be no, and it's an opinionated fact, whatever you want to call it. I'm not gonna make y'all wait for a 20-minute video to give y'all the conclusion at the end. I'll just give y'all my answer and my reason why. And basically, off my experience, I've never had an issue with a stock Glock. And most of the time when you upgrade things, you run into problems. And I have the experience to tell you that because I've upgraded certain things on my Glocks, different Glocks, obviously. I'll start with this one. Basically, I upgraded the trigger and I ran into some light primer strikes. Now, granted, it was the ammo, but a part of me also does feel that it could have just been breaking in the trigger, maybe. The trigger had some issues. A lot of people was reporting that you had to keep the trigger oiled. Since then, I've been repeating those steps after every other range visit, and I haven't had any issues. Now, whether it was the ammo 100% or maybe because I didn't oil the trigger, the whole point is that with the stock 19X trigger, I've never ran into that issue where I had light primer strikes. Never, not once. Mind you, I put this trigger on last year. I already owned my Glock 19X for 2 years at that point. Over 2 years. So, yeah, that's one example of running into problems when you upgrade stuff. Now, I'll give you another example. I got this Glock extended slide release from Glock store, and I like it. I mean, it is easier to get up on it, when you had to hit that release button. It's right there. It's a lot closer. But the way I grip the gun is probably not like how a lot of people grip the gun. Kind of grip the gun similar to how PewView does it. I'm sure if you guys watch PewView, most of you watching this video probably already know who he is. But, he high grips on his pistols. I kind of do the same thing. And there's a few others that do the same as well. I just don't really like this whole, thumbs on the side with the paddle, whatever you want to call it, the rest pad. Most people call it that. It's not comfortable for me. I mean, for me, I just don't feel like I have a lot of control over the gun that way. And most people is going to beg to differ on that. I'm not here to debate. I mean, however you grip your pistol is however you grip your pistol. I mean, sometimes I might come a little bit lower with it, but a lot of times when I'm gripping the pistol, especially on something like this with a large frame, I'll kind of get a little high up on it like that. So, I mean, for most people, that might not be comfortable. For me, it just works. So, yeah, when I added the extended slide release, because I have a high grip, I kept riding on to the slide release, and it kept locking back on me every first shot. I really wasn't a fan of that, but I also do like the fact that I can reach the slide release easier. So I plan on leaving it on there and just alternating my grip from now on. So instead of gripping with this particular pistol, I'll come under like that, which is also not a bad way to purchase a gun, because I've done it before with other guns just for like a test trial, and it really makes no difference. I still have the same amount of control like this, or even like this. It's more of a preference, but I feel like a lot of people put too much thought into that. And for me, I try not to, because at the end of the day, a lot of it is in the mind. I mean, recoil is obviously not in the mind. I mean, the gun's going to recoil you whether it's a 9 or a 22 or a 40, or even whatever, handgun, type of handgun you're shooting. But like I said, I will have to alternate my grip now. not a major inconvenience, but when I had the regular slide stop on there, slide release, you know, then it wasn't really an issue. It was never an issue. I never had the slide, you know, lock back on me or anything like that. So just a thing of like I'm saying, do you really have to upgrade them? No. You know, out of the box, you don't. I upgraded the sights on this just because I wanted to try them out. And, you know, most of the time, I've never had a Glock with just the stock sights. My Glock 26, I had changed the sights on that, and I had the tritium night sights on them. My Glock 19X obviously came with the night sights, the metal night sights. And then obviously I have an optic on here, so there's no point for me to even change the factory sights because they line up just perfect with the Hollison SCS. So, you know, I changed that and I added the magwell. Was it needed? No, it's more of a preference thing. It just made it easier for me. And like I said, I just wanted to try out new sights. And because I don't have an optic on it, I just feel like these sights would just work better for me as far as aiming. Call it what you want. I mean, some people might beg to disagree, but I mean, I like it as a preference. But if we're being completely honest, you don't need to upgrade a Glock out of the box. Like I said, that's just my personal opinion. Like, you could literally shoot a bone stock Glock. I've shot bone stock Glock 19s, Glock 44, chambered in 22, Glock 26s. I've shot multiple, you know, bone stock out of the box, Glock 19 Gen 3s, you name it. I mean, never had an issue with any of them out of the box, you know. And like I said, anything you change on them is a preference. I feel like what most people talk about is a preference thing, you know. But they bash Glock because they don't come out of the box looking the prettiest and with the most features. But you can put it next to any gun, and more than likely it's gonna outrun it. You know, I can almost guarantee it's gonna outrun any gun you run next to it. Like I said, you don't need to upgrade. I'm not knocking anybody because, as you can see here, I have minimum upgrades on all of these. So I'm not knocking anyone for upgrading their Glocks. I'm actually trying to defend the point that you don't need to upgrade it, you know. So for most people that do have a stock Glock, they don't have to upgrade the gun, you know. Like, if you just want to get a good working gun out of the box and you want it to work, my bad, y'all. Bike life is real in my city, man. So if you're hearing that stuff in the background, just bear with me because I can't keep cutting the camera off and cutting it back on. But yeah, back to the video, man. Like I said, you know, you don't really need to upgrade a Glock out of the box. You know, this is all preference right here. Do I think you need a light? That's the only thing I probably will argue with. Yes, especially if you're carrying at night. If this is your home defense, definitely it's a must-have for me. It's one of those things where it's like, rather have it than not to need it. Rather have it and never need it than to need it and never have it. You know, that's kind of what that is for me when it comes to the light. Do you need this specific light? No. They've got $30 lights, $50 lights. I mean, you name it. You know, they got a lot of lights you can get from pretty much anywhere online. You know, at the end of the day, it's really up to you on what you want to do. But like I said, man, you know, if you just decide to get a Glock out of the box and just run it, it's going to last you for as long as you take care of it. And you could beat that thing to the ground, run it through the dirt, literally run it through the dirt, and it's going to work every time. There's no need for you to go out and really upgrade anything. And let's just say it once again for like the 100th time, if you have a preference that you want to, you know, fill in and say, oh, well, I'm going to swap this out or swap that out. There's a lot of people on both sides of the fence. Like I said, I don't knock either one. But at the end of the day, people also make it seem like it's a bad thing that you have to upgrade certain stuff. I mean, people buy $1,500 guns, $2,000 guns, and still upgrade stuff on them. So it's really not a big, it's not really an argument if you ask me. Because if you buy this $500 Glock and you decide to throw a couple upgrades on here, probably still gonna have a gun under $1,000, well under $1,000 with upgrades on them. You know, depending on what you do, obviously. You know, you get into the more expensive stuff like the internals and triggers and stuff like that, then yeah, you're gonna obviously run up a bag, you know, upgrading your Glock. But like I said, man, just a quick video. I don't want to make it too much longer. Just thought I'd put my 2 cents into this, you know, because I see a lot of people talking about upgrading Glocks and things that is a must. And in my opinion, it's not. It's all a preference, you know. And like I said, people are going to argue with you or argue with me even for this video. It is what it is, man. I mean, I'm always up for a good debate. But like I said, you don't need to upgrade it, man. I mean, it's a preference out of the box. If you just want something that works, this is your answer right here, man. Glock's where it's at. Now, I'm going to leave this one right here for y'all, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Jump in the comments, man. Y'all want to have a little chit-chat? I'm always up for it. Anything else y'all want to know? Once again, comment section, man. Y'all already know where it's at. Otherwise, I'm going to catch you on the next video, man. That's all I got for y'all for the day. Y'all be safe out there.